Hello, Tulsa. Hello, Oklahoma. Well, my name is Jaime Bourbano. I am an American who happened born in Colombia, South America. But even though I don't see myself as a Colombian, I see myself as an American because I grew up in the United States in the culture of the United States, and I'm the culture of Colombia. So when people ask me if I'm American or I'm a Colombian, I tell them I'm an American, and that happened to be born in Colombia, but came to the States at the age of 5, went through the school system, etc., and all that, partial university, community college, and all that. And I see myself as an American, 100%. Anyway, this video here is about me, the fact that I'm coming back to the United States after being gone since 2009, or in other words, approximately 13 years. I fled the U.S. because of what was done to me through the what they call family court, which is such a lie. It has nothing to do with the family, but anyway, in which my kids were kidnapped by the judicial system, by the judge involved in the divorce, the attorney of the ex-wife, and the ex-wife themselves, in which felonies on the state and federal level occurred. So much so that I have the evidence, and when they discovered I had the evidence, they tried to burn my house down. They also then, when that failed, they tried to murder me about 8, 9 days afterwards. I ended up in the hospital for about 3 days because of the attempted murder. But they wouldn't do anything about any of that because the judge was involved. An attorney who used to be a Oklahoma state senator was involved, and I don't think it had anything to do with the ex-wife, but she was involved, in my opinion, and we go from there. Anyway, I'm coming back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I'm coming back to kick ass and to fight in the legal system. I am looking for patriots that are interested in learning how to fight the right way. Okay, I see a lot of stuff in the Oklahoma Patriot sites about the Second Amendment, the voting, elections, this, that, and whatever, and we just keep getting our rights diminished slowly and slowly and slowly. Okay, but there is a way to keep them, and then there's a way to fight them back, and that's through the use of common law. Common law is 100% alive in the United States, but it needs to be resurrected because we, the people, don't know how to use it. I am very knowledgeable on the common law, and I follow let's call them gurus, the masters, the people who were before me, and one happens to still be there, alive and well, in which he teaches the common law. Common law can be used in anything and everything. Okay. It is the use of the Article 3 courts, which are basically almost extinct because we, the people, don't know how to get to them. We don't know how to use them. Well, I'm looking for lions and lionesses who want to learn how to really fight to make a difference when uh, the government does stuff to us as a man or as a woman that is 100% against, let's say, God's lawful way of doing things, against mandates that are 100% unconstitutional and illegal, but they do it anyway. And it's because we don't know how to fight it direct one-on-one that we end up losing. So I'm looking for people that before I even come back, we can have Zoom calls and start talking about the common law. If you don't know the common law, you're not a man. You're not a woman. You're a slave. You're a legal fiction. You're a person created by government and under the jurisdiction and control of the government. Well, I'm a man. I am not a person. I am a man, a living man created by Yahweh, the creator, who created the earth, created the universe, created you, etc. And I'm only under his jurisdiction, and I do everything I can to keep him happy and do and follow the guidance that he gives each and every one of us, etc. So I'm looking for people that want to get together and start talking about the common law, to start learning about the common law. Believe me, you will learn how to handle arraignments. You'll learn how to handle the IRS. You'll learn how to handle inspectors coming to your door telling you to cut the freaking grass. Okay, you'll learn how to handle all these SOBs. So all that there is just to keep you under their feet. this government was created and put under our feet. That we, the people, were the creators of the government. Now, being the creator of the government, the government cannot come at us as a man or a woman because they are the creation created by us. But what's happened is the government, through basically fraud, okay, found a way whereby it reversed the situation and it became the creator, and it was and is the creator of persons, legal fictions, etc. And therefore it has control and jurisdiction all over those individuals that are persons, legal fictions. And to put it bluntly, that's you, more than likely, that's listening to this video. Okay. Well, when I come back to Tulsa, my plans are to have seminars in which we teach, okay, how it is to become a man or a woman and stop being a legal fiction, a person. Do you know what? If we had 1,000 people in the Tulsa metro area, which includes, everything Broken Arrow, Wazo, uh, Tulsa itself, Sand Springs, etc. If we had 1,000 people that knew how to be what they really are, which is a man or a woman, do you know we could totally shut down and change the legal system that has been created and by fraud instituted upon us as persons, legal fictions. We could shut down the court system and never fire one shot because they can't handle a man or a woman. We can totally destroy them. Okay. But you got to learn what it is to be a man, and a real woman. So I'm going to put here in the YouTube description. Okay. You can get me on WhatsApp. I do not have a USA phone number at this time. I'm going to put my email address. Okay. And you can send me your contact information. Now, I do have an unlimited private line that I can call the United States, talk all I want, Canada too, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Alaska, etc. Costs me about $10 a month. Unlimited. I can call landlines, I can call cellular phones, not a problem. So if you give me your telephone number, I will call you and let's start a chat. We can have Zoom calls in which I'll start to teach my basic knowledge, but I'm going to take you real quickly into knowing what's happened. Most of you have no idea what happened when your parents took out a birth certificate on you, when your parents took out a social security number on you. No idea what you did when you filled out a 1040 IRS, form. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of insight on me. I got red pilled back in 1989. Okay, through a gentleman named Philip Marsh, who basically started a revolution called the untaxed movement. And I stopped filing taxes back then. Okay, because they called the IRS up and do it and ask them if the 1040 income tax, those taxes, income taxes, are voluntary or are they mandatory. They'll tell you they're voluntary. They're voluntary until you sign up. Once you sign up, they become mandatory, and unless you know how to reverse yourself and get out of there. Anyway, I stopped filing in 1989. So in other words, 1988 was the last year I filed. 1993, I was living in Chester, Virginia, right outside of Richmond. Had two CID investigators show up at my door. That's Criminal Investigation Division investigators for the Internal Revenue Service, letting me know that they started an investigation against me for willful failure to file. In other words, they were going to put my ass in jail. That's not only me, but the wife at the time. Okay. The only wife I've ever had. But anyway, now I'm single. But anyway, okay, so let's keep going. In a nutshell, I hired a gentleman who came in, flew in. He did a whole bunch of paperwork, et cetera, et cetera. We met with the IRS, and I'll go into a lot more detail of that if you want to when we do a Zoom call. You'll laugh. It was so funny. But anyway, in a nutshell, after he sent off documents to, I think it was about a dozen government agencies and individuals, combined, or I don't know, it was a lot of documents. Okay, well, I should say it was a lot of people, in which a lot, and probably a good 10, 15 pages in each, going to each one, everything from the Department of Treasury, the President of the United States, the Queen of England. Why is he sending to the Queen of England? Well, you'll find out. You'll find out who our taxes really go to, so to speak. Okay, so let's keep going. Anyway, in a nutshell, a year later, after all these documents were sent, got a letter from the IRS. And the IRS said that I was no longer liable and was not liable for any 1040 income tax. All I can say is this: to this date, which is 2022, we're here in June 19th, I haven't the slightest idea what a 1040 income tax form looks like. I haven't filed. The last time was 1988 when I found out that I wasn't liable, et cetera, and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know what a 1040, like I said, income tax form that gets submitted by April 15th. I don't even know what the hell it looks like. Doesn't pertain to me. That system is not mine. Okay, I'm out of it. Okay, let's keep going. Then again, in about 1995, living in Chester, Virginia, I was arrested by a police lieutenant of the Chester Police Department for serving him legal process on some legal documents from another guy that was suing that particular lieutenant. Well, that lieutenant thought he'd be a smart ass, and he arrested me for doing that. I told him if he did that, it would be unconstitutional. It would be an illegal arrest, and I'd have his ass in front of a federal district court downtown Richmond, because the Richmond's, I don't know what it is. It's one of the district courts of the country. I think there's 9 districts. Well, Richmond is one of them. But anyway, he laughed. He thought it was funny, etc., and he arrested me. Okay, I was in jail for about 10 hours. Well, within 3 weeks, I had him in front of the judge at the federal district court in downtown Richmond. And all I can say is this: I'll go into it in a lot more detail. But you know what the judge told him when he found out why they arrested me? He told him, you better go in the back room right now and arrive at a settlement as to how much you're going to pay him. Because if you come before me, your ass is grass. I'm going to, I mean, he told him, they had the city, the little town, I should say, of Chester, had like 3 or 4 attorneys. The tenant was there. The other cop was there with the arrest and all that. And they were shaking in their boots, man. They didn't know what to do. And guess what? They paid me bucks. Okay. Now, in the divorce, which happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 2005, when it was filed by the ex, in which they tried to kill me, they tried to burn my house down. I had to flee Oklahoma. Eventually, I had to flee the United States in 2009, but now I'm coming back to kick ass because now I know common law, and I've got the people, etc., that have the knowledge and all that, and I'm coming back to go against the judge and to go against that state senator, ex, who was a wife, and going after the wife. If she does not testify to the fraud that they committed against me and the kidnapping of my children against me, okay, the damage they did, I'm going after her. Okay. Now you're going to hear right away some of you thinking, well, you got statute of limitations. Statute of limitations, 6 years, 5 years, 3 years, all depends. Well, let me tell you something. See, this is where ignorance comes in. There is no statute of limitations in common law. My children's children could come back at the estates of the judge or state senator for what they did to me. There is no statute of limitations. That's in the Article 1 rules of civil procedure, legalese, legal language that the attorneys, the bar put together. Okay. So anyway, they put me in jail during the divorce. We did a writ of habeas corpus. They gave me 60 days for direct contempt and all this crap. We did a writ of habeas corpus, and guess what? Oklahoma Supreme Court came back. You got to let them go right now, and they let me go. But anyway, I'm coming back. But anyway, I'm going to kick ass. Can't put it any other way. In the Article 3 courts, I'm going after all of them. I'm going to take everything they got. Going to take the judge's pension, his cars, his house. The same thing with the state senator, bank account. I'm taking everything. Okay, but you got to know how to do it lawfully. Okay, and that's through Article 3 courts. Okay, which is where I'll be headed. Okay, but I'm looking for people that want to be lions and lionesses. Okay, Sure, we can vote and do that, and then we see many of those that we vote for, they still end up in Washington, and they voted contrary to what we want. The voting does some stuff to some degree, depending on where we are and all that kind of stuff. And it's good we have a right to vote. But you know what? Has all the voting that's happened in the last, let's say 50 years, has that changed the legal system at all? Where the attorneys, shysters, you know what the word attorney means? It means someone who twists words. Isn't that what they do all the time? So anyway, I want to get to people that want to fight lawfully, lawfully. And I want to start having Zoom calls where we can chat about this, because you know what? Doing it this way, you'll see some big changes. Down the road, when I actually arrive in Tulsa, I plan on buying me like a metal building, etc., and actually have seminars inviting 500, 600. You'll learn how to fight foreclosures. You'll learn how to fight traffic tickets. You'll learn how to fight child protective services when they come and kidnap your children. You learn how to do all of that. And you know what? The people that I'm with, they're winning. But it's on a very small scale, because it just is. I want to make it big, at least in the Tulsa area, and from there take it even more. I can't do it alone though, so I'm seeing how many people here would like to get together and let's start talking. Okay, I will guide you, and so that you end up being self-taught, but you end up being not alone. We need each other. With each other, we can change Tulsa 100%. All these corrupt judges, etc., and believe me, the rules of civil procedure bar, totally corrupt. All of them, shysters, liars, etc. I don't even see how a Christian can be a lawyer. You can't. There's no way. You can't be hot. You can't be cold. If you're a lawyer, I got news for you. You're a liar. You have to lie. Okay, and I'll talk about that more when we have the Zoom calls. But anyway, so listen, in the YouTube description, you're going to see my email address. You can get me on WhatsApp. If you send me your email, I mean your phone number, I can call you. Talk unlimited, no problem. Okay, let's do something that's going to make things happen, and it's going to inflict real damage on that system, which controls everything, even voting and so on. Okay, we can make it happen, but it takes a number. But when you start to hear about this, you'll know even more and more, and you go, "Wow, we can make a difference." Become a man, become a woman. Stop being a legal fiction, a person that only exists on paper. Okay, but you are tied to that legal fiction, and that's why you end up paying. Okay, but they're not telling you what they did to you. You have no idea. And how many times do you hear when people have gone into court, and especially the traffic court, which violates constitutional rights left and right, and the judge will tell you Constitution doesn't have anything to do here, and he's right. It doesn't. It's a whole different world. You're going to learn about that. Okay, not a problem. So hey, so I'm looking for lions and lionesses. That's simple. Okay, so let's make it happen. Get in touch with me. Okay, thanks for listening.